Hi, my name is DelmarshaeWalker. I hope everyone is doing great today. What I want to come on here today to talk to you about is the violence that we have seen lately, whether it's sexual or with the school shooting that happened yesterday. With the Southern Baptist Convention, it was like over 44 women that reported that a pastor sexually assaulted them, tried to rape them, or actually raped them. They reported this information a while back and they just swept it under the rug. And then, like, when you go back, even with the Catholic Church, from between 1950 and 2020, it was like over 3,300 kids that has been molested, and like 80% of them was boys. And you got to think about the mentality of not only the person that's committing these crimes, because that's what they are, they're crimes, but the mentality of the people that chooses to look the other way. And it hurts my heart when I hear church people, because I didn't grow up in church. My entire life, I went to church more for funeral service than I have ever did for Sunday service. So I'm not a church girl. I'm not a church person. So I don't have that church mentality. But I love God. I'm choosing to follow Jesus because he's the only one that can get me to, the only way you can get to the Father is through the Son. So I don't follow church rules. I don't understand church rules and laws and everything like that. But I hear time and time again, they always say, oh, you got to understand that hurt people are the ones that go to church. They go there to get healed. It's a lot of broken people. I understand that. The part I don't understand, I feel that, like, if I go to the hospital, I don't expect the people that's sitting around me to be able to help me. But when I go to the doctor and the doctor actually see me in the emergency room, I expect them to know what to do to resolve my problem or to help me or to patch me up or whatever. So if you're going to church, it might not be the congregation, the people that's sitting around you, that can be able to help you with your problems, your issue, or you're trying to, your walk with God, because they're coming in broken as well. But when you're dealing with pastors, when you're dealing with the upper level of the church, you expect more. And if you're being molested by a preacher and you're following the rules, going to someone else to let them know what's going on, you don't expect that person to wipe it under the rug, because you're looking at, you don't advance to this level. So you're trying to tell me there's no checks and balances? The excuse is, oh, it just hurt people in church. No, I don't accept that. Jesus was going around flipping tables because he didn't like what was going on in church. And if we're supposed to be, if Jesus is supposed to be the example we go by, why aren't there people in church willing to stand up for the victims? Stop protecting the perpetrators and start protecting the victim. We live in a world, regardless of whether you're in church or outside of church, the perpetrator get more protection than the victim. The perpetrator is the one that people make excuses for. Yeah, they might have went through some things, but at the same time, that don't give you an excuse to go around hurting people. That don't give you an excuse to go around killing people. That don't give you an excuse to feel like you could just take whatever from a person that you want to take. And that's what's going on in this world. This world is so backwards. But y'all just allow it to happen. No one want to ruin their reputation to protect a victim because they're thinking about, oh, we don't want to upset people. We don't want to lose our power. We don't want to lose our position. This might not look right. They might start talking about us. They need to. Because maybe once people start talking about this, maybe once a light is shined upon this, once we stop living in a backwards world, maybe this BS will stop. And then if you want to try to understand how I can tie this into what happened with the school shooting, because it's the same mentality. The people, the lobbyists and all them, they don't want to make gun laws because they're afraid to upset the people who's writing checks for their position. They're afraid to stand up because if I stand up to this person, they might not vote for me. Or if I pass this law, I might not have my position. The day that people's lives, human beings' lives, start being worth more than money, the day human lives start being worth more than position and power, that's when all this would stop. But until then, you will still have sex trafficking. Until then, you will still have people going to church to look for victims so they can molest. You would see people taking certain position because they say, okay, if I take this position, I can take advantage of that person. If I take a certain position, I can use that person. If I get a certain position, I can go ahead and exercise my power to do what I want to do. I. Isn't that why Satan got kicked out of heaven? Because he had an I mentality. Until people start saying, look, I don't care about my reputation. I just care about what's right or wrong. As soon as people start getting that mentality, all this will change. If not, y'all will still seeing things like happen with at the supermarket when the guy drove all those many miles just to kill black people. And you know, it's as a black person, as a woman, I know that we don't have a lock on pain. Pain come in any nationality, hurt, victimization, and all that. No matter what color you are, what race you are, unfortunately, the world we're living in now, it's free range. Everybody is up to be a victim. Everybody's up to take advantage of. Everybody just want to clown. It's not even. Everyone just want to be the top of the social status. Whatever they need to do to get likes and views on the internet, whatever they need to do to get position and power, they're gonna do it. They don't care who they have to on in order to get in that position. They don't care. And so until human lives become more valuable, until this world stop being so backwards, you're still gonna have, unfortunately, you're still gonna see this stuff going on. Until people are willing to stand up, and it's not the other person, it's you. If you're in a position where you could say, okay, this person is coming to me saying this person is taking advantage of them, or I'm getting information that this person might be a little, and they should be having a gun, or they think they might, they might want to go here or do this or whatever. As soon as that happens, then you will see things start to change. But as long as everybody's sitting there waiting for everybody else to do something, it's not going to change. Why 44 women had to go through this because of one person? It wasn't like they didn't say anything. They said something. That's why I said, because more people, you're supposed to have a fear of God, not a fear of man. There's more people got a fear of man than they do of God. They could care less about God. As long as they got more fear of man than they have of God. And like I said, that's backwards. And until men start acting like men, because a lot of times when you look at the whole situation, regardless if it's gun violence, regardless of what's going on in the church, it's men. Like I said, they want to use that name men, but they're not living in what the essence of what a man should be. A man should be a protector, a provider. These people aren't protecting anyone other than themselves. They're not even protecting kids at this point. So until men start being men and stop looking the other way when they see something going on, until people start getting to the point where they're ready to shake things up and get things back on track, things aren't going to change. Unfortunately, things are not going to change. And it's like they don't see that. I feel like everybody with this church incident, everyone that looked the other way, they need to be charged too. It shouldn't just be it just shouldn't be the person who committed the crime. Because if I go to you and I'm telling you about a crime and you're not doing anything about it and you're in a position to do something about it, aren't you part of the problem? So they just, my heart goes out to those people, those kids that lost their lives for nothing, for absolutely nothing. There's nothing, if he wasn't dead, there's absolutely nothing he can say to justify what he did. Everyone that lost their lives at that supermarket, my heart goes out to them and their family. All these women that did everything they could to let people know what was going on, and people chose to look the other way, my heart goes out to them. My heart is literally breaking right now because people do not care about other people. All they care about is themselves. All they care about is position. And all they care about is power. And that's it. And if you don't fit into any of those categories, for them, they will step all over you, knock you to the side to get in that position, and they don't care. It used to be a code of conduct where you didn't mess with kids and women. Now, everybody's up. They don't care anymore. You know, it's like the devil's running wild, and people is joining into his party. They don't even fear God anymore. Like I said, they fear man more than they fear God, when it's supposed to be the opposite way around. But that's basically all I wanted to say. And peace.